So, welcome to the Resistance. I'm here live from the headquarters. I'm King Nico. We're going to go over Tartaria today. And it probably won't be the first video because there is a lot of information now that we have internet and the technology we have. It cannot be hidden anymore. So we're going to say hi to everyone because I haven't been on in almost a week. Stacy is here. Hello, Stacy. Welcome, Stephanie. Yep, this is going to be awesome. There has been a lot of info, but there hasn't been like the full story behind it. People want to know, what is Tartaria? What is the mud flood? Right? And we're going to tie that into the Bible. And what does God say about a mud flood? So yeah, you're welcome, Stacy, and thank you also for your hard work and everyone else that's here. Stephanie says, I hope this wakes people to do their own research on this and open up for more streams of information. So yeah, you've been grinding on this and it's insane the amount of evidence. We're going to point out some of it. We're going to show you how to see the signs of what is Tartarian or fallen angel, because we're going to get into it. We're gonna show you what to look for, and you probably have already seen it. But once you open your eyes to it, not just walking past it every day or sightseeing tours, we're gonna show you what they are. So IU is here. Birmingham, UK is in the house. Oklahoma is here. So yeah, every one of these towns, from Birmingham to Oklahoma to Vancouver. God bless you. Paul Burns is here. So Lacey says it is real. So welcome. So I'm gonna get into some pictures. Wait, actually, let me share my Facebook screen. So if anyone's not following me, even though I haven't been on the live, I have been on Facebook posting. So here's some quick news stories from the week. So news from Africa. Ghana has a proof of V card. And their news story says it is not the mark of 666. So funny that they would release that and have to say that it is not the mark of 666. Potentially it is, or maybe it really isn't, but it's soon to come. So why that's there in the news. And also there's a convict here, and an offender was arrested and has the 666 tattoo on their forehead. Right? So here's a music video from 1985. Kathy, don't go to the supermarket. I'm not going to play it for copyright reasons, but you can check this out, and it shows you the New World Order today, the mark of the beast, having to go to the grocery store, and you can't go to the supermarket unless you have the mark. So check that music video out from 85. Right, so there's been news about Antarctica and the islands. The names of the islands surrounding Antarctica seem to be very familiar to what's been happening in the news today. So we've been revisiting the moon landing. J7 has got a video posted, probably Joseph's, and some codes to go along with it. NASA means to deceive. So the number 74 popped up a lot this week. 70, sorry. So the number 70 is everywhere. So let's see what we saw for the number 70. So Independence Day equals 70. 70 written out equals 474. There you can see some 70s there. I'm not going to say them. Also 70% effective. We just had a $70 million jackpot, record tying. So there's the 70 again. 70 million for its pay letter cards offering. All you see the dates. 70 million years on Earth, 40 years of decline, the endangered eel. Again, more 70% effective rates, 70 times faster. So a trucker gets 110 years for fatal I-70 pilot. And again, we had the 70th Miss Universe competition on the 13th. Elton John scores 70th Billboard Hit 100th hit with Merry Christmas, Christ Mass. There you go, the 70 in the Christ Mass and your Elton John. 70. So Kansas City police identify teen killed near 70th and Agnes. So there's your 70s. Pay attention. It's all pretty much right there in plain sight. So now is this going to close or what? Okay, so as you can see, the cover of the video, it's pretty much this picture here. Believe it or not, this is Shanghai, China in the early 1900s. So look at the architecture of the buildings. It looks just like anywhere else on Earth. What's known to be Greco-Romanesque. So they're pretty much trying to say that the Romans and the Greeks built all these buildings or whatever, people copied it, but I'm going to tell you that's impossible for the dates and for the tools and for the populations of all these cities. And look right here, you see there's always the angel statue. So the angels, I'm going to tell you, built all over Earth, and I'll show you the codes. I'm going to show you the pictures, and we're going to fly through it. So the internet's not, I have the pictures saved up here. So we're going to remove this. We're going to get back on. Okay, Mr. AMC, like the CNE entrance. Okay, I'm just going to flash through a bunch of pictures now. This is going to be epic. Where's my, oh yeah, the folders. I'm just going to get the folder up quickly. So we're going to go to, okay, I'm going to show you some memes quickly for Tartaria. Then I'm going to share the screen. That's what I'm telling you, true soldier of Christ. Wants to know what is Tartaria. I'm going to tell you and show you what it is because it seems to be a new conspiracy that's popping up. And I'm going to tell you right now, it is a psyop. And it is to cover up something biblical. Because like I said before, everything in all of my videos is to do with Bible prophecy and the fallen angels, the enemy, the evil ones that are trying to cover it up and hide it. So Tartaria, again, is more fallen angel technology being hidden and covered up and manipulated for a whole Tartarian empire, a giant race, and a mud flood, another flood separate from the great flood, when in the Bible it says God promised never to flood the earth again. And this is why we got the Ark of the Covenant, which is the rainbow, the Ark of the Covenant. So for Tartaria, anyone going down that rabbit hole, it's actually called Tartaria mud flood. So there's Tartaria, and there's the mud flood, and together it's Tartaria mud flood. So it's a high-tech civilization that built all these buildings, and then they were wiped out by a mud flood. And I'm going to tell you that's nonsense. So get back to the comments. Hi, Gally. Gally's in the house. Sean, what is up? Okay, so I got the pictures coming up. Let's get into it. It's going to be epic. So you can find lots of images online. I'll show you where you can find other people that are sharing the information. So in this picture here, as you can see, history, they changed the dates on these buildings. They can add and take away 1,000 years, a millennium, a century, anything they want to tell you, oh, it was built this year. But these buildings are the fallen angels architecture. So there you go. There's Egypt, there's Kenya and Brazil. It's all the same buildings. So let's see if we can zoom in. Poland, Vietnam, Pakistan. Look at the technology they have. Look at Vietnam. They're on like little rickshaws and horse and carriage, but yet there's these these massive, ginormous, solid cement, solid marble, impossible structures with massive statues from Russia to the USA to the Middle East and Iran. Do you not see the same signature with the pillars and just the solid perfectness of them without error? There's Russia, Singapore, Sweden, Indonesia. Ukraine, China, New Zealand, right? Turkey, Sri Lanka, Germany. So I'm going to be showing you a lot of images because you have to get it in your face and you'll see it. Every town, every city has them. And when you start looking closer, you start to see the angels on top of the buildings claiming them because they're the ones that created them. So why does all the history of all these nations have an obsession with angels that they had to put in extra hard work to create and pay homage to these mythical creatures, right? So more pictures are coming up. There's so many. And then you're going to start putting the story together. Like, how is this possible with, so we're going to show you Archways. I'm just going to get all the images up because it's a lot. I'm going to talk to you all too, because I want you all to tell me where you're from and if you've seen buildings like this and structures like this. So Fred says many of these buildings were then founded in the 17 to 1800s. Yeah, but watch. A lot of them were founded, and guess what else happened in those times? And that there was the Great Fires. So I'm going to show you some stuff to do with the Great Fires because they found them. They were founded. They didn't build them, right? So they even say the founding fathers. This building was founded. This city hall was founded. So. And then there was so many that they had to destroy a lot of them because they couldn't account for all the perfect buildings that were in all these towns, cities, villages. So that's why every city on earth had great fires at the end of the 1800s, right? Lacey Lavender, none of them were myths. Karen, hi Karen. How was your party last night? Yeah, Marty says all buildings have gargoyles or angels and demonic faces in them, lizards, griffins. All banks have like these big griffin, eagle, half lion statues because they're the ones that protect treasures. This is not mythology. This is real life, and it's all unfolding. What years were these buildings built? So on these buildings, a lot of them are said to have been built in like 1880, 1890s, all within the 1800s, right? So before trains, cranes, planes, all technology, before any of that, before the world was even like populated. So we're going to show you how history is a lie. Yeah, speaking of the weather, this whole week was just madness. We had like 15-degree sunny days, clear blue skies. We had windy days where it's like mini tornadoes. So they're putting the weather machine harp on us, and now we've just got the snow machine put out, oh, white Christmas, and then they'll melt it all. I'm just not buying it anymore. Not buying it. Thank you, Kyle Mullins. We're gonna get into it. You know, I'm gonna try and pace myself and take my time, but also get through it quickly because we don't have forever. So let's show you Archways. Right, so look at these creations here. This one's in like the Middle East. So this is just an archway. Remember, like you can't sit inside of it, that you can't like have shelter from it. It's just an archway. Who would go? Look at the man right here. Look how small he is compared to what? Look at this. Solid. And they just bigger. Like some of the big ones, like the Marble Arch in London, the Arc de Triomphe in Paris. There's one everywhere. Look at them. From Asia. Look how ancient they are. Like, there's no way they were all built at the same time. These are like at least 5,000 to 6,000 years old. And the only people capable enough to build and create like this without tools and machines and fatigue and error were the fallen angels, the sons of God. Because humans are full of error. Humans have fatigue. We have emotion. Like, especially without tools, we're not building anything. Like, look at a modern day construction site. They can't even get a flat road perfect to drive on without potholes, but they're going to create like this 300 years ago. Just look at the pillars. The pillars are there. Like, this one looks like 1,000,000 years old compared to some of them that try to say that they're 100 years old. But they're the same. They were created by the same race of people or sons of God, because not giants built these. I don't care how big you could be, you still have to put things together. Like, look how big we are, and if we can't even make this on a small scale. Right? Japan. Just try and date this. These are just archways with absolutely no use that are in every city. This one's like Romania or somewhere. Sorry if I'm mistaken that. This one's in India. It says it on there. I think this one's Korea. This one's San Francisco. And look how massive it is. And look at the people at the bottom here. There's a little family right there. Hopefully you can see the... let me remove something off the screen. Because... So down there, you can see a family. And this is San Francisco. So there they are right there. I'm circling them. And this, look, how? This is so unnecessary. There's a dome on top. And look at the artwork in the rock. It's just like, who has time to do that? And this is in America. Again, look, this one's also, I think, New York. Got some in London right here. Look at the faces. Like I'm saying, I believe this is the face of Cain, the bearded old man that the angels serve. There's angels serving a human that they promised kingdoms to, and that's Cain. There he is. Cain's face is there 5,000 to 6,000 years later. So we're in Germany now. More archways, more columns, more unnecessariness, more gigantic statues with gigantic lions and tiny, tiny little people. Wow. More. Here we go. Someone mentioned in Toronto, so that's where I'm at. I actually flew my drone around this one, and look at this. And look, if you look in the background, it looks like there's more columns there that they've removed, because those ones back there are no longer there. But this whole front piece is still here with the archway and the angel on top of it, telling you who created it, who willed it into existence, because the angels didn't use hammer and sandpaper and rope and nails to create anything. And look at the people, small as ever, not knowing that this is the angel that created it from Genesis. Manhattan. Come on now. I believe this is the Archway of Constantine in Rome. Every nation has one. Just look at the angels on top. Why are they all on horses and holding these little crowns or wreaths or coronas, right? In every nation. So tell me, do you have one in your city? Because I'm going to show you they're everywhere, because I've spent the time and found them and found these ridiculous structures, and I'm just not buying it no more. No one, not the Romans didn't build nothing, maybe a few roads, but they didn't build anything. That's why they have these dumb sayings to mock us, like all roads lead to Rome, because that's all they did and were capable of, is making bumpy roads, not these structures, not statues like this. Like, come on, start grasping how and why every nation at one point has all of this. If there's no explanation for this nonsense, look at the tiny little people and the tiny little like tin can cars and their little street car. Look at these massive godlike figures, these angels sitting there looking over everyone with these look at this. Come on. So this one looks brand new, but that one looks 10,000 years old. They were made at the same time. It's just that some survived the flood and some didn't. Like, look. And some of them look like they've been buried underwater. Here we go. This is what? Central Park in New York. Another ridiculous, unnecessary, impossible, solid rock archway just in the middle of the park. Here's another one. This one looks like it's in Asia. And you can see angels up here, up here. Sorry if I'm just talking. I just want to get all this imagery and information out there. So as you can see here, who's to say humans can change this sign and put whatever date they want on it, but they can't replicate all of this because look, we can't do nothing like this today. More horses, more gold, more unnecessary. Here's St. Petersburg, more angels. More angels down here. Angel on the horse, the leader. Here's another one in New York. Old, look how old it is. The cities are empty. There's no population. Like, there's one tiny little man down here. Where's the people that created this? And why didn't they put statues of themselves on the top? Why is it this angel on horses, the same as in St. Petersburg, to New York, to the Middle East, to Asia? Okay, let me hear what you have to say because this is getting out of hand. Are you seeing? Sorry, I gotta go back because while I'm doing that, I can't see the comments. So yeah, people this day can't build stuff. They can't even build a flat road surface to drive on, right? Friggin' hitting potholes all the time. I'm like, there's construction 24/7. So what's going on? There's no fancy columns and solid cement rock buildings going on with the millions of people we have, right? Thank you, Paul. Freemasons didn't do nothing. They're not the master builders. So I'm going to show you the gematria codes now. So thank you for that, Polly, because I'm going to show you who the Freemasons serve. Talking about all their master builder this, they can't build nothing. They're just building lies and satanic crap and leading people to hell. So Kyle says the archers were a diss to the archangels, cause of the world's current infrastructure. Thank you. Epic comment. Thank you. So that's another reason for the archers is to diss the archangels because they were ruling as gods on earth. The fallen angels, when they created all these buildings, they were like, look what we have. Of course, they're going to put statues of themselves on it. If you make something, you're going to put the statue of you. So that's them. So we're going to show you the codes quick because you want to see proof. Masons, fallen angels, they are helping each other. No one's helping anyone. The fallen angels are using and manipulating man and giving them these fancy titles like, oh, you're this and you can have this riches, but they're all going to go to hell and they're just going to have nothing. So that's what we got to understand, that these people are being tricked. Whether they're Hamites or Canaanite blood or somewhat got fallen angel blood in them, right? You're welcome. Tommy's in the house. Welcome, Tommy. So Tommy's got a channel, Tommy Rogers, and I've worked with him, and he's a good friend in Toronto. So our whole city is mud flood evidence, which is great flood. All these old buildings are like buried deep in like the surface of the earth, right? So it's like, okay, first of all, someone built them, and second of all, they built them with windows in the ground. So Tommy's been out there making videos, walking through the city, showing off the deception and the lies. Don't worry, I'm going to show you the codes, right? Because this is all fallen angels, because there's no explanation. So when you go down that Tartaria avenue, there's no explanation. They talk of giants and this whole Tartarian race. I'm like, what Tartarian race? What mud flood? They're trying to explain a secret race that got wiped out by a mud flood. So I'm not buying it. I'm going to the Bible and getting my truth from the holy book, from the word of God to tell me, because I asked, it says, what is Tartaria? Why can't I understand and figure out who put these creations together all across the earth? And then just like that, I got my answer. So the fallen angels built mega cities. Now, you have to get this in your mind. First, you have to understand that these angels existed. Not only does the Bible have it, not only does the book of Enoch name them and number each and every one of them, they came to earth. It tells you what they taught man. So if they taught man this, aren't they going to show man what they're talking about by creating these mega cities? So there's the magic number 1776. The fallen angels built cities for Cain, 666. The fallen angels, the master builders, 1776. The fallen angels ruled as gods in cities that resembled heaven, equals 1776. The fallen angels built all over earth, 1776. The fallen angels, 666 in the satanic cipher. The fallen angels created everything on earth, 1776 in the satanic cipher. Right? They're also going to be behind the fake alien invasion in 2022. We are 2 weeks away today from January 1st, 2022. Yeah. So 2 weeks left. Anything's still possible. The fallen angels and the great alien deception, 1776. The fallen angels will pose as aliens, 2021, 666. The fallen angels fear Jesus Christ, 3322 in the Jewish and English ciphers. Right? So, and we know that they returned through Astroworld Hadron Collider Portal 666, the fallen angels. So there's all that. Their tools and evilness. They created a heaven on earth because they're from heaven. So if they're going to create something, they only know what they know in heaven. So they replicated it on earth, and then they enslaved humanity. So the fallen angels enslaved humanity after creating a heaven on earth. 666 in the Frank Baconist cipher. Arteria equals 88. And there's your eights. A lot of eights in the news, right? So if you want to see some government buildings, quickly, let me see the comments before I lose track of everyone. The cities are underground because after the Great Flood, they were buried underground. No one can build underground. They just dug underground to find what was there from the antediluvian times. So again, the fallen angels created all of this. Andre's going crazy with all this info. Bro, this is real. The statues are there. They show you who built it. Hi, Sarah. Welcome. So Susie Rachel, hello. She says, is it bad if your own name equals 666? No, that's probably a good thing. Right? So remember, Satan's a copycat. A lot of good things is 666. It's all God's numbers, but he just uses it to invert the good with his bad, right? So you'll find that 666 associates with a lot of good. So we share that. But right now we're in the devil's playground. So when you see it, most likely is a bad thing, but not when it's associated with your own name, okay? I'm doing a lot of research on Tartaria. So yes, River Rose. I know everything. I did it for a whole couple of years before I got sick of watching John Levy's videos and him showing like the best images in the world. And I was just blown away. But he's just like, who built these magnificent buildings and structures? The Tartarians and the mud flood, it came and wiped them away. And I just, it's fake. That's a psyop to me, right? So the Bible tells you the truth. It's the great flood. These buildings were here before the flood. The flood came once the waters receded. The mud came, and the buildings that the angels created are solid. So water's not just gonna topple them over. Not like today's paper stick cardboard houses, right? You're just blowing it and it's a hole in the wall, right? So exactly. And if there are photos of them, I can show you them because I've really looked at them. They're all photoshopped. They had Photoshop from the 1900s, but kept it for themselves, doctored all the pictures to fake history because we're going to go through all of it. So don't worry. Subscribe to this channel. We're on the Tartaria now. We're going to expose again more fallen angels. Everything that I'm showing you is connected to the evil fallen angels who are about to pull the biggest deception on this earth, right? In the next coming days, weeks, right? Like our time is short here. So River Rose says, yes, you got me researching about a month ago or so. So since then, I've been crazy researching. Yes, always. When you're looking into Tartaria, just look at the creation of the buildings and the structures. Know that they're everywhere because I'm going to show you all the government buildings right now because they're everywhere. You're going to be blown away. Like all over the earth, every nation has this. So I showed you the archways, and that's just archways. It's the train stations, it's libraries, museums, central banks, churches. It's so many, and there was more, like just more, everything here. Like the cities were already here, but they had to burn them all up. That's where the great fires come in, right? Because they had to reset. That was the reset, right? You're welcome, Stacy D. Yes, Kyle. Okay, so pictures coming up. Get ready. We're gonna fly through some more images, and I want you to look at them, right? I want you to. Sorry, where am I? This thing took me off. Let me put me on. So I want you to just like grasp someone building them with like just a couple of buddies, right? Because they didn't have thousands of people. They didn't have the best food, the best medicine, the best doctors. So if someone got injured on the job, like they weren't whisked away to hospital. There's no cars. There was like horse and carriage and just the local, like they had nothing. So the fact that these are here and they're trying to say that they were built like 100 years ago or 200 years ago, there's madness. So Tommy says John Levy makes 40K each month from a 420. Exactly. I say that John Levy's controlled opposition because I spent a year or more watching his videos and hearing him just take me around in a bloody circle, filling my head with giants and Tartarians. And I'm like, no, and a mud flood. And I was going crazy. And I was like, God, please show me the truth. So once I figured it out, I was like, oh, wow. So yeah, well, I'll show you. I have John Levy's channel up. I'm not bashing the guy. I'm just saying he's very anti-Bible, right? You cannot trust someone that is anti-Bible, anti-Jesus, and anti-God because they're going to take you down the wrong way, right? Especially now. So that's the easy way to tell if someone's telling you the truth or controlled up or not, right? Karen says, do you think the 5G towers will be connected in any way? Of course. Just watch Spider-Man Far From Home and they show you how the technology to fake Project Bluebeam and the projectors and something to do with the 5G is going to help fake that. So it's all tied in. They got the weather machine to help fake the wind and make it snow or make it rain whenever the hell they want. So I'm getting sick of them controlling and running this earth. Jesus needs to come now because this is war and we are under attack 24/7, people. Okay? Amen, Stacy. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but this is the truth. Exactly. Yeah. I don't remember Satan taking a day of rest. So let's get the pictures up. They're here. This is, so these are government buildings. This is in Argentina, I believe. It's massive. It's identical to a lot, and it's got fallen angels on the top. So government building, fallen angel statue. Sorry, it's all blurry. It's all up there. Horses. There's the typical entrance. There's the unnecessary columns. Columns. It's just columns in the wall. Just unnecessary. Just impossible for humans to ever achieve or ever conceive such a thing. So we're gonna go. I believe this is somewhere in Canada, and like Edmonton, one of their state buildings. Just beauties. St. Petersburg. Just they're everywhere. Hidden in plain sight. This is like London, England. You'd think you're in like ancient Rome, but no, it's just modern day London, England. Look at them. The same signature with the columns, just the obsession with the columns and the angels and these domes, and just this is just the outsides of the buildings. This is in like South America, I believe. Asia, like India or Bangladesh. Just this one looks like Europe. Oh no, it's the States. Sorry. Spain. Just wow. Just come on. Wait till you see Las Lajas. Some of these are built in the most impossible places. Like this, like just look at this one. It's in like Manchester or Liverpool in England. This one looks like it was buried underwater for a while. This one was submerged. Just look at it. And there's your little Brits walking by doing their day-to-day dolly gang in, and they're just walking past an old world fallen angel structure that was survived the flood because angels, godly sons built them. Yeah. All over the earth. Just right here. Just the insanity of them. Just look at this. Like, who had time to carve that? Like, what did they do? Just make a makeshift ladder and just chisel away with a toothbrush or a toothpick? Like, get out of here. I'm not buying it. Again, modern day London, England. And look at the modern. Okay, here's the old world, right? And look at the new world in the background with these hideous cranes. That's the best that we could come up with in 200-300 years since these were supposedly built. They didn't need these hideous cranes, and all we can build is these flat glass wireframe pieces of crap, not solid rock columns. And wow. So there's old world mixed with new world, just like the cover photo, which is Shanghai, China. And the history's not what they tell us. Like, the ancient Chinese were supposed to be in huts and obsessed with dragons, not building Romanesque buildings and angel statues. Like, look at these palaces. They're just, and look, you see how it was dug out? You see how this is man-made. They made these stairs to get up to the ground level because it goes deep underground because these were dug out. That's all our ancestors did, was dig buildings out of mud and get out from the Great Flood. It was a mess here. Like, these buildings go on forever, no matter which nation. They got the same griffins on them and angels on them. Like, look at this. This is India. It looks like they might have painted it red to make it look more Indian, but it's the same building. No matter what color they try to color it, it's the same thing. This one's in all the way in Australia now, or New Zealand. Yeah, we're in Australia. So yeah, this Finland. Why does every government and every country have the exact same building? Look at the angels on top there. Look at the tiny little man. Look at the giant doorway, right? Very unnecessary. Look at the unnecessary pillars, the statues, just the perfection. and there's the angels always on top. Macedonia, there's the government parliament house in Macedonia. Every nation's parliament building is some fallen angel structure that they founded and took possession over. Here's the London. Just like, who knows where you are now, right? More angels. You could be in China. You could be in Japan. You could be in Brazil. You could be in Mexico. Speaking of Mexico, here's Mexico, right? So there, boom, angel on top. There's the magnificent dome, the solid rock. Like, just get out of here. More statues, more columns for days just to look pretty. People had that much time. This one's in New Zealand, I know that. This one's in Budapest in Hungary. Just incredible. Again, more buildings. See the sloped up stairs, because this building was sticking out of mud. That's why some of the windows are in the ground, and that's why they made this the entranceway, and that's why they had to makeshift this stairwell to reach the entranceway to get in and make it the new entrance. And there's your horses on top, more impossible, unnecessary columns in the middle of the sky. Another nation, more columns, more solid rock. Here's another building here. This one's just Rome, Italy, magnificent. Angels cover the whole thing, and this has like literally no use. So here's an old picture from back in the day. So this building was always here. This is fake. There's no construction going on. This building is just here. Wow. South America. Now look at the sign. They try to cover it up and hide how the building, look at this. Vienna, Austria. Yeah, sorry. There's so many. There's just so many. And this is just pictures of the parliament. This one's Kingston, Jamaica. So now we're in the Caribbean islands. How is there a building like this in the Caribbean islands, on an island with like the lowest of low population? So 200-300 years ago, there's probably like 20,000 people. How is this possible? Another one in India. This one, just look, this is like Blackpool in England. Doesn't that just look like, wow. There's your little buses. There's your horse statue where you see everywhere. There's your people crossing the street, not knowing who and what and why this and how it came to be. Washington, just so much now. Stop adding up all the stone, all the rock. Where's all these experts that chiseled these perfect like flowers and out of solid stone? Where's all the people that could put all these angel statues up in the, look at this. This is Cuba, Havana. So another one in the Caribbean islands, identical to the one in Kingston, identical to the one in Washington, the same one in Argentina, Buenos Aires. Here's one in Spain. Because look, the only thing humans can make is these crappy little flags, and they just put it on top and say, yeah, we found it. That's it. That's the only thing human about this building is that flag. Just wow. Look at this. This is in the middle of New York. Don't you see it out of place now? Sorry, I'm going to come back on quickly because, like I said, I compiled so many pictures. Like, don't you just see? It just doesn't it look out of place? Now I tell you and see you and tell you how the angels put them there. On islands, who is this guy? Hamilton. Onto something, yeah. Well, it's not just me. There's like John Levy has a whole friggin' 100,000 plus subscribers to a channel talking about the same buildings, but not tying in the Bible and the fallen angels, right? So I'm just showing you what I found through my own research, but there's mass amounts of evidence from the okay, we're gonna get to the pictures, but yeah, Hamilton's a troll. Thank you, Stacy. Don't waste your energy. Right, the buildings, incredible stuff going on here. So I'm gonna flip through some more. Again, Italy, look at the people. Start trying to put your mind and start thinking like, just look, we've all lived. We're all mature enough now. We've all lived long enough. Like when I was younger, I had no choice but to believe that, oh, people and slaves built these because I never really knew. I was young. They teach you young, so you don't really question it. Like they taught us about Rome and ancient Egypt and the Greeks back when like friggin' 10 years old. So it's not like we ever got to work or build anything for ourselves and realize how impossible it actually is. And by the time you get into school and college and get into the workforce and have your own family and you're living your own life, like you don't really have time to go back to grade 4 friggin' history class and go over this. You just deal with it and be like, oh yeah, I learned that at school when I was like 5, right? So that's why it's never questioned again. But I'm showing you now this whole Tartaria mud floods come about as a psyop to help cover up Bible prophecy. People are questioning it. I'll show you on Facebook. There's groups all over Facebook. There's Tartaria Australia. Like Australia has got mass amounts of Australian old fallen angel buildings, right? Yeah, we are in the end times. Thank you, Red Tiff. Doorways for giants. So yeah, giants were here. So yeah, so the giants were here before the flood. All of these were created before the great flood, not no mud flood. There was only one great flood, and God promised never to flood it again, right? So yeah, I'm just seeing what you're all saying about it because this is all new, and no one else is like. There's lots of Tartaria videos on YouTube. I'm not like just saying I'm not the first one doing it, but not anyone's really tied in the fallen angels, and I've been researching this for years, and Nico's speaking the truth. Yeah, research it for yourself, says Melinda Stone. Thank you. Yeah, so when you do research it, you'll find no one puts the Bible towards it, especially John Levy. So speaking of John Levy, I'm going to show you his channel quick. So hopefully I got it up still. It's incredible, and it's everywhere from small towns. You drive through some unknown town, and then you see the building. I'm like, what? This town isn't even like a city, and they got a massive building like this. So here's John Levy's channel. Thank you, Stacy D. Because I've been looking, I do my research. I recommend a lot of these people. I've learned so much from them. So, but like people like Zach Hubbard for gematria, like I learned a lot about how to use Gematrinator and calculate stuff. But he doesn't go anywhere near the Bible and Jesus. He just does his thing, shows you it, and goes on to sports betting, right? So just obsessed with sports betting, even though you know he knows the truth, but won't share it, right? So you got to question and see that, yeah, even though people know how to use some of this stuff and come across as exposing truth, sometimes they're not for God at all, right? They're still an enemy of God, even though they're sharing truth. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to weed out those people. I'm going to stick into the Bible. Like, there's no way I'm going to share truth without it being in the Bible, right? So that's what you're going to get with me. I'm not going to give you the runaround, beat around the bush, and give you some whole Tartarian crazy story with giants and a mud flood. Like, how did a mud flood the whole earth, right? It's nonsense. The only thing that flooded the whole earth is the Great Flood, and God did that, right? So thank you, Kyle. So yeah, so just check John Levy's channel out, and you'll see like he's got so much info. You can see here all the videos. He's got all the information, and you can just get lost in this. And you'll see He'll bring up a picture with a building and you'll see the angel on top because I've watched it with my own eyes. And he'll be like, who created this magnificent structure? And after I found out, I'm looking at it and I'm just laughing. I'm like, this guy knows and he's not going to tell you. Or someone told him not to tell you, or he just doesn't see it, right? Because not everyone can see it. But I've seen it. Once you see it, you're like, it's the angels. They're everywhere showing you and claiming their structures, right? And remember, when sons of God create something, like I said, it's not human. So these made them. The only thing that destroyed this earth was the flood. So it just rained. So the buildings weren't going to just disappear because it rained, right? And waters rose up. The waters rose. The buildings were built so high, most of them poked out the water. And when the waters receded, all the mud from the land came up. And just that was it. They were buried in mud. And then when Noah got off the ark, and Nimrod was found, once the generation of Nimrod came around, that's all they did. They built and dug buildings out of mud. That's why Nimrod questioned what happened to this earth. Because he was like, why is everything destroyed? Why is all these buildings covered in mud and damaged and tipped over? And what happened? And people told him God flooded the earth, destroyed everyone except for Noah and his family. And Nimrod, like, he could do that. That's why he rebelled against God, because the evidence in his time, like he was like the grandson of Noah. So he was like, whoa, what is this mess, right? So you got to see it from that perspective, that all these buildings, all these government buildings, they were already there. It's even in the Bible. I told you in Mark 13:1 and 13:2, it says, Jesus was walking and says, yeah, none of these buildings, no stone will remain on top of one another, and they will be torn down. Because his disciple says, look at these amazing buildings and look at the manner of stone, right? Because he knew that wasn't human. Not human. So again, this guy, John Levy's got so much videos. You'll see all the World's Fair in America. He'll explain how they supposedly created a whole massive city, like a friggin' metropolis, and then destroyed it after the World's Fair. So, and you'll see he'll go over the technology and everything. But again, I don't feel like he's for God. I feel like he doesn't go near the Bible and fallen angels and Jesus. So he's just hooked on this whole Tartarians and a mud flood. But please don't get lost in Tartaria and the mud flood. That's just a cover up for Bible prophecy to hide that what the angels created in Genesis. Remember, they don't want you to know they were here until Judgment Day, right? But they were here. I'm trying to prove that Genesis really happened, that the angels left heaven and mated with humans and created a whole Nephilim race, and just, genetic manipulation, pretty much deleting God's gene. And God saw what they were doing, and that's why he flooded the earth, because they corrupted everything. And only Noah and his family remained still in touch, never took any jabs from the government, never fornicated with any Nephilim giants or fallen angels. That's what's happening now. That's why. And he was saved. So now we're going through the end days and a possible pre-tribulation rapture. Those with their DNA of God still in touch, that haven't been tampered with by the government, right, will be saved, and that choose Jesus Christ. But you have to understand that the Bible is the truth, and I'm not just sitting here as some crazy little Bible boy that grew up in the church trying to say, yeah, it's true. No, I rebelled against the church, and I still do, because it's disgusting. But because the Bible was associated with the church, I kind of left the Bible alone for many years until my awakening, right? So I already know what you're all going to tell me. It's like, oh, the church this, the Vatican that. I know, right? But you have to go full circle. Don't just stop in one place. You got to go all the way around and realize, yeah, the church is evil, but the Bible and Jesus is the truth, right? That's how Satan does it. He wraps the good and the truth in evil. So, because he knows humans so ignorant, they're going to see it and see it on the news with the priests and the pastors and be like, oh, look, the Bible and the church and God and Jesus is wrapped up in all this evil. I don't want nothing to do with that. That's how they do it. So undo that crap, get it out your system, pick up the Bible, realize what I'm telling you is there. Tartaria is nonsense. The angels. So if the angels left heaven and you can accept that they came here and mated with women, can you not accept they also created megacities? Right? So if they can create their own children, I think that they can create friggin' cities like the ones I'm showing you, right? With all these archways and all these pillars and impossibleness. Get it together, people. The fallen angels are back. I've been telling you since Astro World, as in the days of Noah says. Well said, brother. Yes, biblical. It is biblical. Sorry, let me get John Levy off the screen. Well, I'm going to talk to you guys. I could spend all freaking night because there are millions of these structures. Actually, I'm going to show you one right now because this one is just, sorry, remove, stop. When you see this structure, right? This one's in Colombia. I'm obsessed with it because it's the most impossible thing I've ever seen. So I'm going to show you this one. I'm going to tell you how humans, like I said, just go drive down to your nearest city and look at the roads. Modern day construction and tools with all the heavy equipment can't even get a flat surface in order, right? Let alone erect one of these buildings in the middle of nowhere on an island. So someone's clearing some stuff up in the chat, Stacy. So here we go. We're going to Colombia, and this right here is Las Lajas. It's a sanctuary in Colombia. And it is built over a river in the middle of two hills or two mountains or something, right? In the most impossible place. Sorry, let me see if I can get some of these images up better. So here you go. It's the sanctuary, and just look at the surroundings. So obviously it's another 300+ year old building, but I'm going to tell you it's like older than that, but it's old. And it's built over a river in between two mountains. So think about this now. How are Colombians in Colombia going to get all the tools together without, cars and planes and trains and anything of the sort? How did they get the stone down a hill over a river and put this together, right? In between two mountains. Just, you got to understand and see how impossible it is. And the angels did that because they could. They can make things impossible because that's all they know. But the fact that they've been able to hide and disguise their structures. So here it is again. Just think about how it was ever possible to put this there. And I'm going to tell you right now, the fallen angels created it. Because if you look on the bridge, just look at the bridge. There's an angel right there in the bridge. And on the path towards the doorway, there's angels lining the bridge. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on one side and another 5 on the other side. So there's just the double-digit amount of angels surrounding this sanctuary saying that, yeah, this belongs to us. We create it. So let's see if I can get a close-up of some of them. And you'll see them. Remember, that's just the outside. And then there's the inside with just unbelievable. As you can see there, it's built over a stream, a river, in between another mountain, and just surrounded by mountains. So it's like the most impossible place you could pick to build your sanctuary, right? Like you can't find a flat surface. Isn't that what we do these days? And especially 200-300 years ago, they're not gonna think like that. They're gonna be like, yeah, look, right here in the middle of 3 freaking mountains over a freaking river, we're just gonna bring all the rock and slam this sanctuary together. No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. No way. Sorry, guys, ignore the trolls in the chat. Valeria Collins says, hi, Nico, much love. I appreciate you teaching the truth. Yeah, I'm teaching it. I'm showing it. I'm not teaching anything new because it's all in the Bible. It's just that we're at the end now, and now we have the technology and all the images. It's like without the internet, I probably wouldn't have figured this out. Maybe I would have if I just walked around my city and seen, but knowing that they're in every nation, like back in the day before internet, like people used to really hardcore go sightseeing and go to visit these places to see it firsthand. And you wouldn't see much pictures because you only had a couple of channels, so you didn't know. You have to go to visit. But now, since the internet, you can just type in a place and get any camera angle you want, inside, outside. It's like, whoa, you start to see the world. You got to use the tools we have, whether they're on these evil platforms, you could still get the good out of it, right? So yeah, again, fallen angels. Giza, we all know the story. They try to tell us how slaves dragged perfectly shaped rocks across the desert and put them together perfectly to make a perfect pyramid that withstands like the ages of time, right? So impossible. Like I said, you got to think. Like we've all worked in groups or been on sports teams. Like especially slaves, you're gonna get slaves that probably aren't eating good or being treated well to get that job done, to get anything done without error, without getting tired, without injury. So you think that these buildings were made without modern harnesses or cranes, and no one got injured or died on the job, or nothing broke? Everything was just so damn perfect, fit together like a friggin' glove, right? So where's the error, right? If these were human, where is the error? We're going to ask these questions. Now we have the images and the videos and all the information to look at and decipher it and go through it. Now we can be like, yeah, how is this possible? Why are the angels everywhere? What's the obsession with these angels? So let me get out of this one because they're there. And here we are. We get a close up of all the angels. You see them on Google here. They're all, look at them. What is this? Just line the whole thing. These angels everywhere. Like I said, fallen angels. They are real. People don't put in extra hard work and time just to pay homage to mythical, biblical, fake creatures, right? No, there's a reason. And most likely humans didn't put this together because they didn't. It's the angels. They're conceited. They're obsessed with being God and ruling, right? That's why they created it and put themselves on these buildings, on these structures. Right? Again, and someone said before, like I've here in Toronto at Queen's Park, any of these government buildings, whether it's a courthouse or the city hall, it's the same thing. It's got gargoyles on it. The same in Toronto and Ottawa. Friggin' Parliament building in Ottawa, flew my drone around it. It's got gargoyles all around it and images of demons and devils and dragons and lizards. So yeah. So Tommy says airships, Zeppelin tech was available. Yeah, the energy. We've seen all the memes with all the cathedrals. So these cathedrals are like a cathode. So these energy buildings, like they didn't have wires and things. These angels knew about free energy and how to harness it. So their buildings were created to get energy and save energy and get the energy from the humans and take it and use it and abuse it, right? So no, the angels just built them, yeah, created everything because they could, because they had nothing else better to do, and they wanted to have their own heaven, their own world. So this whole world they treated as their it was theirs, and now they're back. They're not gonna like let their world go that easy, right? So they were here, they ruled as gods, they enslaved humanity, they created and manipulated the gene and just the fornication. right? So Las Lajas. Again, ancient. This is just Shanghai in the 1900s. I went through all these buildings and codes and the banks and the imagery. So RBC Bank in Canada has a griffin on it. So does Midland Bank in England has a griffin on it. So, and the griffin or gryphon, ancient Greek, as a legendary creature with the body, tail, and back legs of a lion, the head and wings of an eagle, and sometimes an eagle's talon as its front feet, because the lion was traditionally considered the king of the beasts and the eagle the king of the birds. So by the Middle Ages, the griffin, sorry, I lost it. Yeah, the griffin was thought to be an especially powerful and majestic creature since classical antiquity, griffins were known for guarding treasures and priceless possessions. So you know that the flag of Tartaria is a griffin, the flag of Wales is a griffin, Sri Lanka, Mexico, they all carry the griffin, and a lot of the banks and libraries have griffins around them because they're protecting treasures, right? So exactly. So someone says they are feeding off our frequency and vibration. They're feeding off us. Always have been. These buildings. That's why the modern day society, we go into these fallen angel structures, whether they call them churches or not, because they were just energy buildings. That people go in there and give their humming and ahhing energy, right? And the angels have been feeding on that because, like, they're superior beings to us. Like, we cannot begin to comprehend what kind of power they have. And like, just look at their creations. Look at any government parliament building, which any country in the world, it's there. They had the power. They just flew around 200 of them and just created, right? And paid homage to themselves and Cain. And we're going to get into the style because remember, the angels were here for at least 1500 years before God flooded the earth. So in 1500 years, they had the time and they went through a lot. So in the first 500 years, things were good. All their buildings resembled heaven, right? But then after their creations and after the Titans and the Nephilim came along, they started to, after they'd been away from heaven and started to sin, the sin started to get heavy on the fallen angels, right? So then their creations started to get more darker and demonic. So that's where some of these buildings are night and day. You get the nice, glorious golden horse ones with the angels on it and the pillars are from heaven. And then you get these, like the Queen's Park in Toronto, you get these Gothic buildings because they started to get darker over the time. So after 500 years or however long it took, and with all the sin over the centuries, then they started to just be more evil, started to sin more because they knew they weren't going home. And then their creation started to represent their darkness, their sin. So that's why Queen's Park has all these gargoyles on it, right? Because the gargoyles weren't there in the beginning. So the first buildings were beautiful, right? There were no evil demonic images on them, right? And then after they had sinned, after a few centuries, then they created all these beasts, right? Then you see their buildings they started to create just represented all their darkness and evil and all the devil faces in the buildings. And yeah, so that's exactly what happened, right? And then things got messed up. So after 1500 years of sin and fornication and corrupting God's gene pool and creating all these just forbidden stuff, right? God decided to wipe it away. So Mike says Lacey's awake. Yes, we all are awake here. That's what the dinosaurs were. It was the fallen angels' kids. Because the fallen angels took wives, right? In the beginning, everything was all hunky-dory, supposed according to them. And then after their children grew and became Nephilim and they started to sin, things got out of hand, and then they decided to corrupt everything. So they spread their DNA into all the insects, all the fish of the sea, all the just birds, everything, whether there was sea or not. So, and then that's where these. So if humans became giants, imagine what a bird's going to become. It's going to become a pterodactyl, right? And if you have, they fornicated with a bear, it's going to become some massive dinosaur, right? Because humans became like 400 feet tall. So they tried to say that a comet wiped out the dinosaurs. That's a lie. It was the Great Flood. Everything that disappeared and got wiped out was from the Great Flood, right? Thank you. So IU says she doesn't believe in dinosaurs. Nope. I used to. I was obsessed with dinosaurs growing up. Who wasn't in the 90s? We had Jurassic Park. We had everything was dinosaurs, right? Stacy says exactly. So Tommy's here. Tommy says now they get people with the cell phones. 5 years now without a cell phone. 15 years without a TV. That's amazing. Yeah, I cut my cable in 2012, so I'm almost 10 years without cable TV. Just been on the YouTube researching since. I just got my first phone last year. So yeah, you have to. Tommy's on it, man. You can't take in this information by being bombarded and distracted and constantly brainwashed by these devices, right? The devil's devices. So yeah, phones another. I never had a phone, so I gave up my cable and my phone in 2012. So, and I haven't had cable since, but I got a phone again. But like after almost a decade, trust me, after seeing the conditioning of the world and how it's got to the point, yeah, we did a good thing getting off of that crap, right? So Nico, is the word architecture derived from archangel because they created the design of buildings? Just wondering. That's, see, where's the architects, right? Because the art, wow, it's all there. It's all coded in the language. I already showed you the gematria, like how many 1776s were there. So I'm going to show you why 1776 is so significant, right? 1776. Right, so I'm bringing it up right here. The United States Declaration of Independence. So honestly, Lady DR, that's incredible. Because I was gonna come on here and ask, I was like, where's the architects? Where's the constructions, the constructors, the designers, the builders? Like, where's the ones that get the buildings put in place? Like, you don't see the buildings from the old world, and you can't put what you know and be like, wow, that's impossible, right? Like, what are the architects saying about these mud flooded buildings, which I'm telling you is the Great Flood. So don't start adding a mud flood to the Great Flood. There was no mud flood because that's not biblical and it's not true. Fallen angels aren't aliens. Dinos existed before alien movies, right? So 1776. The United States Declaration of Independence is the pronouncement adopted by the Second Continental Congress meeting in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on the 4th of July, 1776, right? And why does 1776 that's why they signed it then, because America's modern day Babylon, and they're serving the fallen angels who are the master builders, right? Of Genesis. Oh, lots of comments. Sorry if I'm missing out because we're just talking about this already an hour. So I don't want to go over 2 hours. 2 hours, I'm cutting it. So let's get the information out there. I'm going to go through some more pictures and so I don't have to revisit and then we can move on, right? So I was talking about the Antarctic Treaty. So yeah, everything I'm going to talk about, I'm going to tie it all in. So once you know about Tartaria and the whole site behind it, it's just a cover up to hide that it's the fallen angels creations. The fallen angels are the master builders, right? That's why 1776 keeps coming up coded, because that's their year of creation. Half of 1776 is 888, so that's why the triple eights. And then we're going to get into Antarctica and the treaty and the flat earth and the dome and what they're hiding and what Admiral Byrd experienced and found. We're going to go through the diary. We're going to go through everything. We're going to go through Operation Paperclip, High Jump, Freeze, Deep Freeze, Dominic, Fishbowl. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's all connected. So let's get this Declaration of Independence off. Because 1776, right? So when I show you the gematria codes, I have to bring them back up. Because again, because if I'm telling you and showing you all these images, like there's so many, we haven't even gone, there's thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of these structures, impossible structures that we can't replicate because it's impossible. And once you start looking for them and you keep finding them and you keep seeing that this library is one and this art gallery, and then you start being like, whoa, who built all of these? Like nothing is accounted for, all the dates. So I'm going to get into the Great Fires. So quickly, I'm going to find my Great Fires for you. Oh yeah, I got it right here. So I quickly compiled some Great Fires because there's proof. It's all there. They they hit it. So if you want to look for it and then you find out why, everything's there. You can find the cover up. You can find the destruction of the buildings. So I'll show you right here. Here's so we got, sorry, why is this doing that? The Great Fire of Moscow, 1812. So fire broke out. So there's the Great Fire of Moscow. We got the Great Kanto earthquake, Great Fire of Tokyo, and disasters happening there. The Great Seattle Fire, 1889. This one was 1923, 1889. We got Great Fire of Sydney in 1901. Great Fire of Toronto, 1904. We got the Great Fire that completely destroys the Gran Teatro del Liceu, Barcelona. So we got the Great Fire of Barcelona. And let me guess, 1861. We got some dates there. We got the Great Fire of Glasgow, 1652. That's an ancient one. We got the Great Fire again in 1909. So the turn of the 20th century. We got the Great Fire of Hamburg in 1842. The Reichstag Fire in 1933. 1803, Great Fire of Bombay. Great Fire of Madrid. The Great Fire of Amsterdam. So they've been burning buildings for centuries, right? And especially they went hard. They went hard at it in the late 1800s and the early 1900s because they knew they were setting up for the New World Order. So they had to hide the Old World Order so that people could manipulate you to get you into the New World Order, right? So they had to hide and disguise the Old World. Because if you knew the Old World existed, then you're going to know what's going to happen for the New World Order, right? That's it. So they filled our brain with all this brainwashing crap, with all this Darwin and all this evolution from monkeys. So we all think that we're living doing this for the first damn time and everything's a damn accident floating through space. It's a lie. This is not new. We're going through this. This is not the first time this has happened. Toronto was cooked to the bare bones, 1848 as well. Yeah, it's the book burning. They're burning truth. They're burning history. These fires weren't accidents, Tommy. So yeah, it all ties in with the Tartaria mud flood because that's when that reset happened. So that's why most of us only can count back 6-7 generations. How come our grandparents only know their grandparents and then we don't know anything after that, right? Because they've manipulated our history and got rid of a lot of our ancestors that helped dig out of the mud and put the finishing touches on the new world, right? That they gave to us and put the kids on the orphan trains all over the earth to repopulate it, right? After they used our ancestors, the true Hamites and the Japhetites, the Shemites, sorry, not the Hamites. The Hamites are the evil ones that took power, took control, wiped out the Japhethites and the Shemites, right? And that's it. And then repopulated with a bunch of kids from incubators and stuff. So that's what that whole history is, right? So Melinda Stone says yes, right? Paul, yeah, we are here for a reason to listen. Puts a lot of work. Show, sorry, you guys taking the piss in the chat. So sorry, I don't know how to delete people and block them yet, but whatever. San Francisco burned down, says Mr. M. So yeah, so all the information I'm telling you, because I honestly don't have it all organized perfectly in front of me, so it's going to take me friggin' hours to search it all up and go over it. So because I'm going to make more videos on this in the next coming days. I'm going to stick on Tartaria. We're going to expose all the statues, and you're all going to help me because we're all from all over the world here. So you all know if your city burned down or not, roundabout 1860 to 1910. It's that whole 50-year period is the same nonsense, setting up for, and then they had the world wars to distract us again in 1917, 1919. More excuse to blow buildings up because, that's what that was for. That's why they did the Hiroshima bombing, because Japan, as I showed you in the thumbnail for this, Shanghai was pretty much Tartaria, pretty much ancient Rome right there in friggin' Shanghai, China, right? No evidence of dragons and huts. It looks like solid rock columns and angel statues, right? So that's why they bombed Hiroshima in Japan, because they had to destroy it and get rid of the buildings, right? Because their narrative of history with samurais and geishas and ninjas is a load of bollocks, right? There is no history. They're making it all up. It's a bunch of lies. Look at Jamaica. They're trying to tell you Jamaicans and fishing and Rasta this. No, how Rastas aren't smoking weed and putting up a friggin' building that looks like Washington, state capital. So David Manny says, Bible story where the angel touched the water every day and healed one person was removed, the angel from the story. So yeah, send me some stuff. We need to expose this quick because a lot of people are getting lost into Tartaria, because I follow a lot of these Tartaria mud flood groups on Facebook. Australia has been blowing up with a lot of Tartaria stuff, but the connection, the fallen angels, the Book of Enoch, if these angels are going to come here and manipulate DNA, then I'm pretty sure they can manipulate some stone and some rocks and put together these magnificent creations, right? That could withstand the test of time, including the Great Flood, the greatest flood this world has ever known. The one and only, right? So thank you, David. Gaming with Shaz says from Jamaica. So Kingston, the Parliament building in Kingston looks like Washington State Capitol, right? So I showed you the picture of that one. Thank you. Yeah, there's pyramids everywhere. Yeah, this Hamilton, Toronto person's, there we go. They're gone. Okay, so now I got rid of that troll. Let's get back on with this. Half an hour, we're going to tie this video up, right? Just the images. I showed you the Great Fires. What else do I got to show you quickly? I want to get all these images out there. We got train stations quickly. All right, let's get through some train stations. There's a little bunch here. It's all the same. So if you know Union Station in Toronto, it's all fallen angel buildings. Just make use of it because it couldn't destroy everything. Okay, so I'm going to open this up. Sorry. Like I said, I need to get more organized. That's why we're going to have to do a whole series of this Tartaria and the fallen angels. Get it done. And you're all going to help too. So we can see I got it up now. Let's get this going. It's incredible. Just look at the stuff and start thinking how hard it is to do this, the work that would have to be put into it. So there you go. So we're going to just fly through some more images. This is what, look at the people down there. These people were living a luxurious life, right? These were like the orphans of the trains that just grew up in these founding. They didn't, look at them. Do you think they put in any labor in society? They just got their black umbrellas. They're all wearing the same clothes, all posh. They're just there enjoying the buildings, the life. They're just there. No one's there constructing or dying or putting in blood and sweat to put a freaking horse on top of some like unnecessary structure that's solid freaking rock, and that's ginormous. That no, even if all these humans put together, they couldn't put this thing, to make this, right? So let's get to the next one. So this is North America. This is the States. This is probably Chicago from the World's Fair. This is from the World's Fair, Chicago. Wow. This looks like the Vatican right here. No, this is Chicago. 200-300 years ago. See, here's more digging out the mud. So put the story together. The world was flooded, and as we repopulated the earth after it, we were just digging and cleaning up the world, getting back the buildings that were buried, right? Here's more Chicago World's Fair. Some more impossible cathedrals, right? I've been on these architecturaldigest.com site. That's Westminster Abbey in London. There you go. There's more Babylon. So like I said, this is an artist rendition of something that was absolutely real. And if you look all around, you'll see the whole world was a dig site. You see all the other state capitol buildings and the archways I've been showing you. It's all there. Some Toronto now. There's a train station. Pacific Central. There's more columns. Just look at the architectural design. Don't let these human, cheap plastic signs that they just put on top of the buildings make you think that, oh, that's what it was created for, because that's not true. Canterbury, UK. Look at these buildings. They just tower over cities, right? Another train station with unnecessary columns, solid rock. Here's another city with a building hidden in plain sight. This looks like Ottawa. Just right there. Look at the sloping of the street. So these buildings are all mud flooded that way from the Great Flood, not a separate. Look at the cheap sign on top of Union Station, travel by train. Wow, solid rock building. It's the same all over. There's a cathedral, the Smithsonian Institution building. And it even says here, hidden in plain sight. Tartaria Cathedral. There's Cologne, one in Cologne. Now look at this picture now. So look at the population of the city. There's like less than 10 people in this image. There's nothing. They got a streetcar, and then they got this massive Great Northern building and right behind them. Here we go, VRL Canada. And again, train stations. This one's in Russia. St. Stephen's Cathedral, Union Station, Winnipeg, Canada. So that was an artist rendition, and the actual train station, we just passed it, is right there. So you see that? There's the Winnipeg train station with the green dome on top. And then I just had the artist rendition. Boom. So yeah, the artist renditions are pretty damn close and can be trusted. So this is what, Bangladesh now, train station. Yeah, right. This one's in Paris, France. Wow. Look at the statues on top of this one. Look at the columns at the entrance. So I believe this is Union Station right here in Toronto. Wow. And when you look at it like this, see, people have the blinders on because they're in and out of it every day because they turn it into a friggin' Union Station, but it's the same all over the earth. This Union Station's in downtown Minneapolis. Does it not look identical to the one in Toronto? Okay, let me get some comments quickly because that one's pretty crazy. Marlene's in here. Marlene says she's been to the one in Cologne. It's amazing. Yeah, fantastic. Like Union Station here in Toronto is just mind-blowing. I wish I could just sneak through and go through some of these locked off pathways because yeah, it's incredible, these buildings. So look, right here we got Minneapolis and Toronto are identical. Two separate train stations and two separate cities and two separate countries, right? So there you go right there. more cathedrals, more York Minster. I've been to the one in Barcelona. Yeah. Look at this horse and carriage. Again, there's no, look at this, no people. Where's the population? So look at the imagery there. Marlene says, and the one in Madrid. So yeah, you've traveled around. I'm not sure if you knew about Tartaria and these structures when you saw them, but now you can look back and be like, whoa, you were there. Because I visited some of these places in Barcelona myself and London, England, because I grew up there, but I'd never known. And I always thought how amazing it was, but because I was at school and they just told you, oh, our ancestors did this and built it, the founding fathers. So you just, wow. So the crazy part is this makes you realize how much a part of history we really are with just the flicker in time, just like the people in these pictures. Like, look at this structure there. Look at the horse and the minimal way of life. Like there's, you know, the Great Wall of China is the same thing, walking by faith. You're welcome, Freebird. There's so much images. So you saw the train stations were identical, right? This is crazy. That's the one I meant. Barcelona, Gaudi. It's amazing. Yeah. So Marlene Brown's traveled and seen these firsthand. They're breathtaking, impossible, very just it's breathtaking because you know humans deep down, we know that humans didn't. Okay, let me jump on the screen quick. Deep down, that's why we tour and we travel to these places and they're like big sightseeing destinations because deep down we know how fantastic they are. And a part of our soul knows that they're like godly creations, whether our consciousness and our mind admits to it, but we love to go see and we all love to take pictures. Just look at Facebook, look at anyone's profile picture or cover photo. It's them standing in front of one of these damn buildings, right? Not knowing that it's angel, but deep down they know there's something special about it. So how many people have pictures in one of these damn buildings or in front of it, or in front of one of the statues, because you know it's something like awe. Like the awe is just awesome, right? So I only learned about Tartaria recently through Tommy. Yep. So everyone check Tommy out. He's great. Been a big Tartaria person here in Toronto, showing you the flooded buildings, the sloping, the windows, and the friggin' road ground level. Like nothing makes sense. The fact that they build an impossible building, but yeah, build it like so impossible that the windows could be like half and half in the ground. So exactly, they had to show their superiority, right, Stacy? So and put humans in their place to make us feel inferior, to let us see that how inferior we were, so they could enslave us and make us feel pathetic while they were so busy admiring us and corrupting our DNA, because that's why they came here. That's why they fell for us. So that the whole terminology of like, oh, someone, oh, I fell for that person, or I'm falling for this person, that comes from the fallen angels falling in love with human women. That's why they became fallen angels, because they literally fell from heaven to earth because they were just in awe of woman and needed one for themselves. Yeah, so many amazing comments here. Sorry, I'm going to try and keep up with everyone. We got some amazing crusaders in the house. Melissa says they are changing names of teams that have anything to do with Indians. They don't want to be remembered what they did. Exactly. Let's get back. These pictures are just driving me crazy. More impossibleness. More, look at this. Like, how? There's no error. So again, not only are they perfect, they just, wow. Just old, too perfect. Just look at them in just standing. This one was definitely covered in water. You can just see the discoloration. There's the train station again. There's another train station. This one's in Philadelphia now. Kiev. Yeah. Oh, okay. So this is Chicago again. This was the Grand Central Station in Chicago. I think they might have destroyed this one, but look at the horse and carriage down there. So here's a big giveaway in history. Look at the technology, horse and carriage. But yet we are horse and carriaging. Look, there's the dig site right here. Dig in. There's a whole big dig pot there. Look at the structure right here. Sorry, make it bigger and get myself off the screen. Horse and carriage with some streetcar system going. No automobiles yet. There's the people on foot. And look at this. So how was this building able to be put here in Chicago? And obviously it was been here a while, so at least 100 years or 100 years before streetcars and horse and carriage, this has been there in Chicago. Are you seeing where I'm going with this? All of them, Melissa, Notre Dame, all these cathedrals are energy buildings, like cathodes, electrical cathodes. That's why they're called cathedrals, because they channeled energy. So here we go. Everyone's saying good evening. Torontonians in the house. Freedom fighters from here in Canada. Tommy and Marlene. So yeah, this is, let's get to the next ones. More train stations here in Canada. There's the snow. There's the amazing structure. This one's in Detroit. It's got barbed wire around it. Let's zoom in on this one. Look at it. There's the columns. There's the signature of the fallen angels. That's what those columns are. It's the signature of heaven and the signature of the fallen angels' creation, because they're the only ones that knew what heaven looks like. There's the building. There's the statue on top, the cheap sign, VRL. Oh, look. So yeah, I'm guessing these homeboys here knocked this up together in just an afternoon, because most of these buildings, they say, were built in like 3-4 years, right? So not only are they impossible, not only did we not have cities of population, just anyone that existed back then in like 3,000 people population, at least like all of them were like handy. Or not all of them. Looks like we got like 8-9 guys here that knocked this train station up, looking all proud, looking all Masonic, should I say. History is a lie. Wait till I put together a folder of all the construction photos now. You don't believe me? And you say, oh, but the history books, we got pictures of them being constructed. No, I've already looked at every damn picture of every construction photo of every one of these structures across the earth. There is no construction photos. I can show you Photoshop construction photos, and I'm going to get into it. I have it all. Don't worry. I've got the answers on this one, mate. Trust me. I got the dog's hair sleeping. Prince is on this side. Coco's on this side. They're being really good tonight. So let's get back. So again, what a joke. Bunch of Masons just laughing that they're faking history, and you're going to buy it. There's another train station. Marlene, have you been to this one? I think this one's in Italy maybe, or France. Another, look at this. So just look at the people. Mind going about their daily business. They're 9 to 5. They're about to go sit in traffic, not knowing. Look at this ancient piece right here in the middle of a modern city. People don't realize it. So let me get it back on the screen. What are we at? Okay, 20 more minutes, guys. 20 more minutes. I don't want to go over to damn thing. Get off me. The cathedral, impossible. Look at the people, how small we are. Look at these things go on and on. Not only are they like, they're massive. It's just like zero effort obviously went into putting these together, because they just put them together. Humans can't even conceive to put something like this together, let alone design something like this. This is Vancouver. So Stacy, you're in Vancouver. You got some Fallen Angel Station right here too. VRL, there's your columns. There's your solid building. There's your architecture on the top there. There's your green roofing. Vancouver, they're right there, Granville Street. The Virgos Cathedral. Wow. So this one's in New York. So look at the statues on top. So now we know what the buildings are. The statues tell you, I know, but people don't realize. Look how small people are. How are they going to look so high up to see the statue when they're too busy looking at this level, right? So if we look higher, you're going to see the people that created them, and there they are. It's the fallen angels. There's wings everywhere. There's impossibleness. Yeah, there's a clock. This is all solid rock. Solid stone, cement rock. Here we go, another one. Another city, way before modern technology. And look right at the top, the highest point in the sky. You have the fallen angels on top of their creations. Right? There you go. More angel statues. This one's in Germany, Detroit, London, England, Baker Street, Notre Dame. Someone was talking about Notre Dame. So here we are. Reims, France. Look at these things. Look at the people. Look at the doorway, the entrance. Impossible, impossible, humanly impossible. All of them from all over the world. Maybe it could have been possible if it was in one nation, right? I'd understand. So I'd understand if it was like one nation, like the lost city of Atlantis, right? Where these people had something and they have all these amazing buildings. But no, this is every nation from the Caribbean islands to South America, Mexico, North America, even Antarctica. Wait till we get into Antarctica. The ice ring is full of structures, right? No land on this earth was untouched by the fallen angels because they wanted to own it all and own everything. And the evidence is everywhere from like the smallest town. I went to even Peterborough and I saw buildings like all over the place. I'm like, what's going on? The Romans really got places on their boats, huh? Jeez. More buildings, more train stations, railway station here. Where's this one? Looks just like Union Station. Wow. They all look the damn same. Here, oh, now look at this one now. Horse and carriage, people. I love these ones. This one's, here's the date there. 1883, this picture was taken. Sorry if you can't see the date, but it's 1883. And if you can see there, there's the fallen angel structure. Yeah, it's got a flag on top. Probably the only thing human. Look at the horses, the carriage. Where's the population? You got a little steam train here, but yeah, nothing makes sense. Just look back at history. We have to look back, right? So I think we've gone through all of these now. More buildings. Let me see. We're running out of time. I just want to see if I can grab some more pictures. We went over the Great Fires, government, arches, stations, banks. It's just insane, right? So I want to quickly get back onto this picture because this is the main picture that just should get people excited. No, that's Shanghai, China. This is Shanghai, China. There's the angel right here, not to be missed because these are the ones. So why would angels be in China? China's not known for buildings and structures like this with fallen angel statues, right? So nothing's making sense. I got proof because it is modern day China. I got a picture of it modern day. And the buildings are right there. So that was a picture from the early 1900s. Here's a picture from recently. I don't know if they've removed the fallen angel statue, but everything's still there. There's the clock building there. See, watch. Same buildings. This is in Shanghai. Angels haven't missed the spot, right? So, because they created all the cities. That's what we have to understand. All these cities came about because of the angels came here and did it. So I'm just going to revisit the codes, and then we're going to quickly talk to everyone, and then now I can get to compiling more information. It's the gematria, these damn numbers. The numbers don't lie. So I already showed you 1776, America's Declaration of Independence. So back to the codes, and then we're gonna wind this out. Tartaria, it's huge. So there we go. Like I said and showed you, there's not enough time to go over and show you every single one of their structures. There's not enough time. There are so many. Like, I'd understand if there was like 2 in every country, but there are so many of these things. Just look at the central banks. Look at those train stations. Look at any government building, city hall, courthouse. You're going to see it, right? Legislation building. Like I told you, I figured out how to figure out the dating of the fallen angel structures. So remember, they had at least 1,500 years to cause havoc on this earth before God flooded it and imprisoned them in purgatory and limbo. But like I said, they finally found a way out to cause more havoc before Judgment Day. So the fallen angels built mega cities, 1776. The fallen angels built cities for Cain, 666. The fallen angels, the master builders, 1776. The fallen angels ruled as gods in cities that resembled heaven. So remember, these cities, these structures, these pillars, these columns, all is like what they knew from heaven before they fell. 1776. They built all over Earth. 1776. They are the evil ones. They created everything on Earth. 1776. And they're about to fake an alien invasion. So the fallen angels and the great alien deception, 1776, because they're the master builders and the architects behind this whole deception, behind everything, anything that hides Bible prophecy, right? And they fear Jesus Christ. So let's talk it out. I'm done. All I've got to show you is just pictures upon angel statue. There's thousands. I wish I could say there was like 50, 60 or a couple of hundred, but there's thousands. I have so many like videos from getting drone footage from all these cities and nations of people just flying over because I want to see with my own eyes and see from like a bird's eye view. So I've got amazing drone footage of people flying around these buildings. I'm just like, just slam dunk. Fallen angels created everything. So let's go through some of these comments. Let me sip some of my drink. Sorry. Yeah, talk to me if anyone wants to come on. I'm going to share the link quickly. Tommy, Marlene, Tommy should come on. Tell us what you think about Tartaria, because I know you've looked into it a lot. I'm going to put the link in the chat quick. So if anyone wants to come and share something, I want to hear it. I want to get the team together. Like, we've come a long way, Crusaders. We're resisting. We're choosing God as our guide and as our leader and savior. The Bible's here, God's word. Oh my goodness. Like, this has been amazing. Ever since I trusted in this, this is where all this information is coming from. I would never have seen it and known and connected the fallen angels from Genesis and the book of Enoch with Tartaria, because if you don't have God or choose Jesus or have the Bible, then you're just going to be, mud flood. And then, of course, you're going to believe in a second flood because you're not trusting in the Bible. There was only one flood. So, yeah. And there was no secret race. There was no Tartarian giant race that like, if these giants could build buildings like that, you think some mud's going to like wipe them out? I don't think so, right? So, yeah, sorry, I'm not getting upset. I'm just excited because this is real truth. And a lot of people have messaged me and said, honestly, I've tried to search the internet for more Tartaria fallen angel connections, and it says, no, I'm the only one. So again, if I am, that's great. I'm praying just not to be the only one anymore, because everyone's got to see it, because it would help with a lot of stuff happening, right? And prevent a lot of the evil in this world that's going down right now. So what's Eduardo saying, like the mud flood? Who's talking about the mud flood, Eduardo? I already told you there was no mud flood. There was only the great flood. So don't let them try and split the great flood into 2 separate floods over. It's not true, not biblical, and it's not godly, and it's just lies. Like, that's it. Massive insights, says Chanel Brown. Again, the story I'm giving you here is the truth. And look, we've been doing this almost 2 months now. Started with, again, the fallen angels and that whole astral world fiasco. Right? I've showed you the fallen angels and their new age religion that they're trying to spread to the world for their new world order and their trial and tribulation. Like, everything's been thought of. So anything you see rising in mainstream right now is definitely needs to be questioned. Gone through everything. The numbers, the gematria, now the structures. We got visual like evidence. Wait till I show you the construction pictures. So I don't want anyone to be, oh, but there's construction, but no, they're fake. I've gone through everything. I can't wait to share it with you all. So let's just get excited. My head's like pounding just looking at all these images. We went through hundreds, right? And I haven't even like grazed anything. There's thousands. And now you have to ask the questions like, where did the stone, where did the material come from? Where did these stonemasons come from? These carvers that only had nothing but, a hammer and a chisel, barely, right? How did they communicate and know what the other side of the earth was doing? Like, how did they know without phones and a mailing system? Even we're talking like 300-400 years ago. So we have to start grasping this, the magnanimousness of this, right? Because it's huge, and just start being like, where did all the materials come from? How come everything's finished so perfectly? Like, how? Nothing these days is perfect. Not even the freaking roads we drive on with their fancy tar and their cement trucks and their rollies, and they're not doing anything with all these materials and machines. I don't see anything. I see everything amazing from like thousands of years ago, right? And now I'm biblically looking. Why? Because, yeah, the fallen angels created it. I haven't always known that, but I finally figured it out just almost 2 years now. So founded and found. Okay, I'm going to show you something quick. Seeing as you put that up, geez, quickly, because this is funny. Where is it? Internet. We're going to go to the Gematria. Quick. Gematria. Watch this. Let me share the screen. Whew. These damn buildings, these damn angels, the statues are there. Okay, so watch this. You said founded. I type in founded, and I think it's English extended or one of these. Let's put all the ciphers. So yeah, reverse. So reverse extended, founded equals 1776. Like, I'm not making this up, right? Look, there's the founded. F equals 300, O equals 30, U 6, N 40, D 5, 4, 5, 1776. There's the key for it in the reverse extended cipher, right? So 1776 for the word founded, right? And I already showed you all the fallen angels, the master builders equals 1776. So isn't that so convenient that the founding fathers who founded what the fallen angels left behind equals 1776? Like, everything, we're in a web. We're in a bloody matrix here. Like, this is it. Founded equals 1776. So NASA can't go back to the moon because they never did ever go there. No one can go anywhere. We're going to get into that. Let's just get through Tartaria. And like, you guys are going to like know that these angels are real. And they're here to, yeah, alien invasion, to cover the born again missing in the rapture. Exactly. Ruth, you're getting it. See, we're going to get it. We're going to go through it day by day, series by series. This one, the buildings, to start questioning the buildings, start looking at the buildings and look for the angels. You'll see their signature, right? It's not the Masons. It's not the founding fathers. They just found it, right? They didn't do nothing. The most our ancestors ever did was maybe clean up some buildings and dig them out of mud. Just dig. Like no one built anything because everything was already there built. They just dug out of the mud. Exactly, Stacy. Proverbs 31 woman saying NASA is a Disney creation. Exactly, they're one of the same. Disney is for kids. NASA is Disney for adults, right? So one of the same thing, selling the same crap and nonsense. Wow. So yeah, I'm ready to end this. Just the first Tartaria. I've done some videos before. I put them on BitChute, but like I was too angry when I was doing those videos. So I was like cussing and cursing a lot. So I've stopped the cussing now. So I'm going to revisit all the Tartaria, all the sanctuaries, all these fallen angel statues. Just there's probably millions of them. Now we have the technology. Let's expose it for what it is. And then history will make sense. And people will ask the right questions and be like, yeah, why are there so many angels everywhere? Why are they massive and bigger than anything humans could think of? And why are they so high up in the sky on tops of these government buildings, these libraries, these museums? So you're welcome, Mr. IMC. Yeah, Saturday night, we're here chilling in Resistance headquarters with the crew. Sorry, I messed that up. Let's see, the dogs are here chilling. They've been so good tonight. Everyone. Yeah, God bless you, Paul Burns. I love all you guys. I can't believe it's almost been a week since I've been doing the show. It's just, I got to get some stuff done. Always, we all have our own lives to live. I'm constantly on Facebook, so make sure you guys add me on Facebook, Nico King Nico, right? You can find me on my Gmail, Crusaders of the Resistance at gmail.com. Instagram, it's at the top there too, but it's at King Nico 18. So get at me, share some information. If you've already messaged me, I'm sorry if I haven't got back to you yet. So I'll get to everyone. You already know. And again, join the resistance.ca. We are the resistance. There's nothing really to join, but this is something to be a part of, right? Because we are the resistance. So when I say join the resistance, like you're already it. You just gotta get that mentality, take the blinders off, right? And see the world for what it is, right? So you can't be really a part of the resistance if you're still living in La La Land, floating in space, right? It's gonna contradict each other. So that's why my job is to show you the earth and the history and put it all together so you can really feel what the resistance is, and you'll come into your own. Once you see the truth, you'll just come naturally, right? That's what the whole terminology is. We are the resistance, right? But you got to see it for what it is first before you can feel it and become it. You understand? So Marlene says good night. Thank you for watching and tuning in tonight, Marlene. Tartaria is a very interesting topic. Very happy that Tommy got to introduce you to it. We're going to go through it. So maybe I'd like to have Tommy or yourself on the show. We could talk about what some of our findings here in Toronto and get some people from all over the world. Australia even. It's far out. It's everywhere. So yeah, so Lady DR says, Satan offered Jesus all the kingdoms because they had built them. Yeah, Jesus in the Bible. I showed you some verses. I'll get them ready in the next video because this video is done. But yeah, the buildings were always there from before the flood, from after the flood, from during the time of Jesus until now. They've just been chipping away and pulling these little mini resets and wiping little civilizations out and just hiding and destroying it bit by bit, creating all these fake wars. That's why the World War I and II happened, because they were just blowing up crap and hiding a bunch of stuff, right? Especially in Japan, because the whole samurai ninja narrative didn't fit with all the fallen angel statues they had there. Yeah, everyone have a great night. What time is it? It's only going to be 10? Yeah, perfect. Yeah, you still got your whole night ahead of you. I'm not keeping anyone tonight. Yeah, especially just flinging off pictures, but don't you just see the similarity, how identical some of them are, and how they could possibly have been built so identical at a time where there probably wasn't any like communication even between governments. Like, and why would America share information with Jamaica and say, yeah, build the same damn building we have, right? Why would they share their information with Argentina or Cuba? As we already know, there's an embargo against the Cuba. So like, so yeah. So everyone, thank you again for tuning in. Sorry if I take a few days off and I'm not on here all the time, but trust me, when I'm on, we're going to go at it. And there's buildings, thousands. So think about it. Where did all the material come? So all these 300 years ago, and the skilled, talented people come from conveniently in every city on earth to put these things together in their perfect entirety, right? So Lady DR says, awesome broadcast tonight. Yeah, it's just the introduction to Tartaria, basically, right? So we still just scratching the surface. There's so much to go through. I just want you all to start looking through your towns and your villages or cities, wherever you are, and just start questioning and look for the fallen angel statues, right? They're a big damn giveaway. They're everywhere. You're welcome, Kyle. Thank you for being here. Stacy says, same here. Island Boy, good night, everyone. Because it was just the World Fairs were to just show off the buildings and make it seem like they created it and then destroy it, right? So it's just all fake ritual manipulation of history. That's all it is. Conditioning for the new world, right? Because there was an old world order, which was obviously a lot more fancy and prettier than this new world with its factories and warehouses everywhere, right? So yes, Cuba. You're welcome, Elena. So Elena Hart, Cubana. I've been to Havana. It's beautiful. I've been to, Revolution Square. I love Cuba. I didn't really realize what I was looking at, but I did see the buildings and I was just like amazed by it. But I didn't know about Tartaria, Fallen Angels then when I was in Cuba. But damn, I look back and I see the Parliament building and I'm just like, this is just too crazy. It's too epic. Same in Argentina, same everywhere. Yeah, the domes are on all of them, impossible domes, some of them gold, green, bronze. We'll get to it. Yes, Antarctica, we got to get onto it quick because everything's coming out now. It looks like, our time's running out. So we can't stay too long on Tartaria. I'll do another like 4 to 6 hours, depending on how the next video goes. So we'll just try and get through it quick. And then we'll get onto the flat earth and Antarctica and all the treaties and all the operations with the Nazis. Woo! And again, everything is biblical. And I'm going to show you the truth from the Bible and the truth from our world and how it's set up to hide that Bible prophecy and where they're getting the help from, whether it's the fallen angels or whether it's sorcerers that are doing work or seances with the fallen angels. Everything is the fallen angels. There's no other evil on this earth that's manipulating this world to get what they need and to get this agenda pulled other than the fallen angels. They came here, they made this world their home, they recreated a heaven, they enslaved humanity, they lived as gods of Olympus, right? And then it got taken away from them. So they've been bitter for the last 4,000 years, ready to get their humans to lead them, to make the technology, to bring them back so they can have more effect and rule for the next 7 years. That's it. And then they're going to go to hell. So it's worth it for them. They're going to burn in hell no matter what, whether they sit and wait in limbo or come back for trial and tribulation and mess around a bit more, right? So watch out for those damn fallen angels. Operation Paperclip. Marlene, you already know what's up. So yeah, lots to go through. Again, God bless everyone. I love you all. I'm going to end this live. And yeah, maybe I'll come see you guys on Facebook. I might do a post live, just to chat. So join me on Instagram. Again, you see it, King Nico 18 and Facebook. So I'm just going to go get a tea, get comfy, have a smoke. And then, yeah, I want to talk to you lots some more. But I'm going to end this one, all right? Love when I can get a new piece of the puzzle. Thanks. Yeah, hopefully I'm confirming some stuff, some people, giving those extra pieces for your puzzles. But yeah, let's get everyone's puzzle finished before 2022. So we got 2 weeks. Let's get these puzzles finished because we're going to need them finished to be able to take on the evil that's going to be in the next couple of weeks. So again, Kimberly Taylor, glad you tie everything with the Bible. Of course, it has to be biblical. It is biblical. I feel it in my heart, my mind, my soul, my body. And I know that this government and this evil of this world is hiding Bible prophecy. I felt it for a long time. And I'm here to prove that God is real. Jesus is the one true savior. And the Bible is the official word and needs to be taken literally, right? So you're welcome, everyone. God bless. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Stacy. And Tommy Rogers, Antarctica Operation High Jump. Yep. Can't wait to get into it. I want you on the show. So give me a shout. Well, we're going to get into it soon. All right. Good night, everyone. We are the Resistance.